Greetings and salutations. My name is Colin Moriarty. This is Greg Miller, the illustrious Greg
The
Miller.
illustrious Greg Miller. I like that.
Yeah, and this is Colin and Greg live right here on Twitch.tv, streamed on our Origin Millennium desktop computer, the Beast.
The Beast.
The Beast from the East, as it were.
I was telling everybody after we went, thank you all for your support yesterday. Obviously, an amazing day. After we went off air, I kept telling everybody, I can't believe all of this shit worked. You know what I mean?
So, look, why are you talking about it, though? You're going to jinx it now.
I know, right? I've had so many problems trying to stream stuff over the years on all these different things. And then to have it actually all work yesterday shows the power of a good PC, which I've never had before.
I know, we really haven't.
We've always had such garbage ones. So look right there.
All right, we look
over there on
fantastic.
that screen, I got the red lips, the
you
clown
got
lips.
the
I'm making
clown
sure.
lips?
Look at it.
So here's the thing, Greg. Let's talk about the obvious right now. We switch places. Because Nick wants us to be on different sides. Because it says, is this correct, Nick? Colin and Greg in terms of.
If you're watching on Twitch, well, you're watching. You don't even have to ask. It would say at the top of the screen, Colin.
I'm just trying to get him involved.
This never updates in time. Why does Twitch take so long to update the headlines?
I updated it. I'm not complaining. We don't know what the hell we're doing anyway.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. We shouldn't be throwing stones from our house here. Made of rock cities.
All right, lipstick man.
I know what, Nick. Other people are saying it looks like I'm wearing lipstick. Why am I wearing lipstick, Nick? Am I a pretty princess?
Lipstick on.
I didn't put lipstick on. I just have naturally red lips. Naturally red other things too.
All right. So here we go, Greg. First of all, before we get into any news, any discussion about whatever the hell is going on out there in the world.
Have you explained the show to people?
Well, let's explain the show, but then I really want to talk about something specifically with you. So let's
unpack some things together.
All right. So Colin and Greg Live, of course, is our daily Twitch live stream radio show. Basically inspired when I came up with the idea for any sports fans out there, Mike and Mike, Boomer and Carson, things like that. It's a show that's here when you want to watch it. It's a kind of like talk radio, and you can kind of tune in, hear some people talk about some games and some nerd culture, movies, TV, comics, things of this nature. And it'll be archived for you on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames right afterwards. So we're really excited about that, and we hope you enjoy it. We are listening to your feedback about if you want the video on YouTube, if you want some sort of MP3 or whatever. I mean, we have to figure all these things out, but for now, twitch.tv is the place where you can watch it live, obviously, always, and then get the archive later on.
Yeah, that's the thing for us is that, obviously, I think I was new to the Twitch platform when PlayStation 4 came out. Obviously, that was my entry drug, the ability to come in and stream easily, right? And I will be the first to admit that I think the interface of Twitch is kind of hard to understand if you're not going straight to live stuff. If you go to our profile, all of our past broadcasts are down there. And so before we knee-jerk reaction say, YouTube, iTunes, anything like that, we want you to just give it a shot like this. Because we still think the show it's going to be what? Maybe 10 hours of content from us a week. And it's all we feel disposable. It's daily conversation about what's happening now. It's about with the chat. And I know some people are already saying, yeah, we'd love to see it on iTunes or podcast, whatever. Right. Twitch has an app that you can watch and put it to audio only, so you don't eat up all your data. We're like, there's options there, and we also don't want to overload YouTube. So
right, exactly.
Just give us a shot like this in like a month. Come back and tell us what you think.
Yeah, and we have to be conscientious, obviously, like you said, of the YouTube feeds of our two respective channels. We don't want to overload you. You know, you hate the spam that people sometimes put up.
Spam.
A few people have said, I need a haircut, Greg. This is neither true nor false, but you have to make up your mind because I'm being told, oh, you shave your hair too short or you cut your hair. Colin, bring back the afro that you so valiantly sported back in the day. You can't have it both ways, Greg, because I can't go from clean cut Colin to afro Colin like that. It takes like 6 months for me to grow that kind of hair.
As your hetero life partner, I was pretty proud that you took my advice and didn't go, and you let it come a little bit. You let it get out there, and you've been trimming it now and again. I like it. I don't like the skinhead Colin.
Oh, okay.
And this Colin is approachable. He's fun. This beard now, you look like you know a lot about bourbon, and you do.
I do.
So it works out pretty well.
So
Pac-Man 26 is watching from a Sony Xperia phone.
Wow.
Shuhei Yoshida is excited about that.
The thing is, Greg, is that the reason I shaved my hair so short.
The chat's very clear about no haircut. Haircut.
We'll see what happens. And maybe I'll bring my mohawk down. I saw something.
Grow the fro. Hashtag grow the fro.
I did used to sport a mohawk as well when I was a young brash child.
Brash child.
Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Who wants to talk about hair? Let's talk about the news, Greg. Well, before we even get into the news, though, I'm curious about how you feel today.
I have a splitting headache, and I don't know why. Yeah, and I
do you want some green drink?
No, well, maybe. Would it help?
No.
No, okay. I'm drinking the coffee. I'm hoping that'll help. That'll give me the caffeine shot I need to get over the headache. I feel great, though, and that's the thing. Like, last night, You know, I really thought that the long late night, you know, that was Sunday night, coming into editing everything, getting everything ready for Monday morning for the launch to announce that we quit IGN, to do all those things. I expected that to be like, oh, the next day I'll go to bed like a baby at 9 o'clock, and I worked even later last night, you know what I mean? But I went to bed and I was very much of the mindset, like, I don't want the day to end. You know what I mean? It was such a good day. It was so awesome. Your support here on Twitch, the support on Patreon that has blown us away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I remember when we launched the Kind of Funny Patreon, I remember being like, you asked me, "How are we gonna do okay?" And I'm like, you think we'll make $5,000? And I'm like, we're gonna cruise to $5,000 in the first day. And you're like, wow. And you walked away and I was like, I think. And like that was when I was like, oh God, I hope we hit 5, and we got to 10. You know what I mean? And then coming into the second one, we all really thought for the Kind of Funny Games thing that, like, number one, money's in short supply for everyone. You know what I mean? We were expecting to come in under the original Kind of Funny one by, I thought, a good amount. Just in the fact that the people who want to support us has already been supporting us, and so then what do we do with that, right? And then to have it go up and just keep going up and be right there, neck and neck with the other one, it's insane, and we're happy you guys believe in the content so much. We're happy you're supporting us here on Twitch. The subs on Twitch is the other thing too, right?
Yeah, that's been awesome.
That is insane, the amount of subs we've gotten on Twitch. Flabbergasted by all of your support. I hope you know that the more, and I guess not the more you support us, but the level of support you're doing is only ensuring that we aren't going to fuck this up. You know what I mean? Like, this morning I was in here making sure, last night we were...
Don't
make we're gonna screw things up, of course. But I'm saying, like, you know, we jumped in last night to do the N64 stream, and I couldn't get the sub thing to work, and that was heartbreaking. But this morning I'm in here, I'm troubleshooting, I'm gonna make it work. It's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna deliver the products you deserve and all these other things. We're adding new cool milestones to both Patreons. You already see the emoticons going. I need to get ours up in King Day today. And I can work on that while we do it. I guess.
No, that would be great. That would be a great idea. I think that we owe a great we have so much gratitude for all of you guys out there for supporting us and letting us make content directly for you. And we know that there's so much confusion out there and a lot of questions about, wow, you guys took a great risk, or why would you leave to do this? Yeah. It's because this makes us happier. And at the end of the day, it really isn't about the money. It's about what makes us happy and what makes us able to make content together for our most ardent and hardcore fan base that's really been there with us for a long time. And so we're really excited about it, heartened by your support, really blown away by your support. Yesterday was a great day, I think, for all of us, the four of us, and all of you out there. And so we're very appreciative of that, and we really have to think long and hard and focus definitely hard. Really focus on giving you guys the best possible content, because we're gonna deliver. We're gonna deliver for you guys.
Now, people are already asking for the content they want, and I think Big Mike the Boss XX nails it. He says Greg should for sure cut Colin's hair. It wouldn't matter how it looked, because they don't have to go be presentable at work anymore.
That's true.
That could be a new milestone and kind of funny.
Well, this is what I was going to say before, Greg. It was about. I mean, we're 10 minutes in, and we're talking about fucking hair still.
Yeah, we're really known for our on-topic podcast skills.
But the reason, I was very clear that the reason I used to shave my hair, I've always shaved my head, like, very short since I was a young kid. And the reason I used to do that was because I have, I'm half Italian and I'm Sicilian, and I have, like, very Sicilian, very thick hair. Yeah. That it's just a mess. I can't do anything with it. I can't, comb it. I can't, it's just there, right? Yeah. And so you shave it, and you just basically prolong the time in which you have to shave it again. You know what I mean? So it might look good if I shave it and then plus 3 weeks or plus 4 weeks, and I basically just been doing that, but now I have to cut my hair more often. We could do a hair cutting thing at some point, because I do cut my own hair. I've cut my own hair for a very long time.
When was the last time you went to a barber?
A decade ago, maybe.
Wow. Yeah. I tell you this story about my barber?
No.
I need a haircut. I wanted to get a haircut before we did all the Kevin Smith stuff. I went down to my barbershop, the original Palace barbershop down in Soma. I turn the corner, I walk up to it, everything's gone. And it's just written in red paint in the window.
In blood?
It looked like blood! We've moved! We'll be open soon. And they had a number, and I called, and they aren't open. And then we lost all reason to go to Soma, except for today when we go to GameSpot. So I don't know when I'm going to get haircuts.
Now, someone said in the chat that this WWF No Mercy thing is still showing up. Are you positive that you've...
1,000%. You can see it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, you're new to Twitch. I'm a little bit older to Twitch. I can tell you right now, Alfredo Plays tells me all the time that there's nothing you can do about it. The Twitch broadcast update takes a long time to switch that out, yada, yada, yada. So you got to stick with me. Basically, and this is why Alfredo was telling me to get one of the other programs that does all this for you, because Twitch is a little unreliable in this sense.
So we'll update eventually, maybe for new people that are just coming in?
Yeah, if you want to F5, if you really want to see. I mean, does it matter? You're here, you're chilling out with us. I understand a lot of you probably only came for No Mercy. We can. I don't have. Oh, damn! I don't have a second N64 controller. We could play No Mercy. You don't have an N64 controller in this place, do you?
Not here, no. Actually, I'm sorry to be on my phone. My brother just texted me.
Deegan?
Dagan.
Deegan.
Dagan. D-A-G-A-N.
Dagan.
And he was just congratulating us, and I just said thanks. And I said tune in now. Speaking of N64, he went to our beach house. My family has a beach house in New Jersey, which was devastated by Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
And thankfully, in the attic were all my games. I only think I lost like a few things, but like not much. And he went about a month ago and brought all my stuff back. So he has my NES, my SNES, my N64, my Genesis, my PS1, my PS2. I can do. I have I think 4. So.
Yo, Deegan, send them up here.
Oh jeez. I don't think he's gonna like that very
much. Oh,
much.
He's gonna like it. He likes me. We met it. Remember at No, I'm sorry, at Boilermaker.
Oh, that's right. You did meet my brother. That's
he kept saying he was starstruck, and I'm like, I'm starstruck.
That's
by
right.
You.
That's weird.
You're a successful looking Colin.
Yeah, he's like actually got like a real successful job.
He's an adult. It's rare when we find one of those in our lives.
All right, so that's that. So we've caught up on haircuts, green drink, and the status of Kind of Funny and Kind of Funny games right now.
Yeah.
Honored, heartened. Thank you for that. Don't feel obligated to give us anything if you can't or don't want to. We're going to be here for you anyway.
Real quick.
Yes.
Beast of Foe.
Christine Steimer says Wake Portia.
No, she is not on here. She is! Christine! Why are you not a sub? Come on! Give me the $5 after everything I've sacrificed! And Porty doesn't wake up. Beast of Foe says we should insert commercial breaks so that people can pee and eat.
Are we going long enough where you gotta...
I could empty the bladder. I could already go for more coffee, but the main thing is there's a pause button on this thing. Can't you just pause it and then catch up?
A pause.
I guess you get behind on the live action. I guess that's true. You get behind on live action.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why bother? It's.
Why bother?
What is this? All right. Are we ready to get into the news, Greg?
I think so. Hey, Big Tony Styles on too. You know him.
Yes. Thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate all of you guys, and we hope you're enjoying the show. And obviously, the show will evolve. As I said yesterday, by the way, this is going to be a balance of games news, movies news, TV news, just a lot of discussion about a lot of what we just consider nerd culture. But we're going to really balance the show based on what you guys want. So please do give us your feedback at Kind of Funny Vids on Twitter. You can always reach out to Greg and I, Game Over Greggy, No Taxation. Of course, you can reach out to Tim and Nick as well. If that is your desire. Now, Greg, where do we want to start? Do we want to start with games, movies, or TV? There's nothing I could find today for comics that was really important. Although
I'll start bringing those. And not like just breaking news, but things to talk about. Time for comic news. Trademark of our GM.
Where do you want to start?
Movies. What do you got in the movie sense?
Well, this was I'm kind of interested in talking to you about this because on Game Over Greggy show we've talked a lot about the Marvel and DC and these universes. A Gambit movie is obviously coming out. That is coming out in 2016, I guess, and it's been given a release date. I'm kind of curious, and the release date, by the way, is October 7th, 2016.
Did they? I'm behind on the Gambit news. Do we know who is Gambit?
Channing Tatum, as far as I understand.
Oh, right! I forgot all about this. People flipped out, of course. Okay, thank you. I'm caught up.
Okay, so now, what I'm most curious about with this, Greg, is kind of how you feel about we've talked about this in the sense that like we're getting into the lower and lower tier where they're just making a lot of different movies. And Gambit, I know, I mean, I'm not a huge comic fan at all, but I mean, I remember Gambit. I had a Gambit action figure. He had like a coat that was like plastic.
Yeah. That's why he was super cool.
Yeah, he had and like obviously his bow staff and cards or whatever. But and I remember him from the X-Men cartoon and from the comics in the '90s and stuff when I was briefly reading that stuff. But it seems like we're getting into it's like, what are we gonna get, a Beast movie now and a like
probably.
So I mean, like, how do you feel about this movie generally just existing? We don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but I'm kind of curious. Do you think this is kind of jumping a little too deep into the well?
No, I don't think so. I mean, when you're looking at characters to spin out and do things with, Gambit is one that everybody has an affection for because of the early 90s X-Men cartoon. Everybody loves Gambit, his love affair with Rogue, and it was such a big deal when he wasn't in the X-Men movies originally, right? And then they introduced him in X-Men Wolverine Origins, and it was just a fucking pile of trash that sucks so hard. So like now to get him out and like have his own thing, people are excited. The bigger question is, can Channing Tatum overcome the fact that he's Channing Tatum? Now, before
what does
I go
this
any
mean?
further,
Explain that to me.
I love Channing Tatum. I know a lot of people don't. 21 Jump Street and all that went further into helping him be cool again or whatever. Right. But when I think of Gambit, right, I think of a lanky individual with an athletic build throwing. Channing Tatum is a fucking he's huge. A rock, man. He's got a neck like this. And like that's great, but so how is he going to play it? Can he do the accent? Is there going to be an accent? All these different things. Right?
Well, I think there will be an accent. I tell you that because Fox tweeted this out or whatever. I think that's the studio doing the movie.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And their tweet was, "How do you say October 7th, 2016 in Cajun?"
Ah, okay, good.
Obviously, Gambit being a Southern gentleman.
Yeah, a Southern dandy.
I'm looking through.
I know where you're driving with this. He's below the tiers, but it's just one of those things of he's only there because he wasn't in the other X-Men movie. I don't think anybody was like clamoring for Rogue movies, you know what I mean, before she was in the X-Men movie, right? So
did we get a Rogue movie?
No, but I'm saying...
Are we clamoring for a Rogue movie?
No, we're not either. No, well, unless it's Morana Paquin. And just being her fine self.
Jeez.
No, but I mean, I think you can get away right now spinning not the X-Men, the new class people. You know what I mean? The guy with the thing in his chest and no thank you. But like the original X-Men and the Cyclops, and you got all these people, a Cyclops Jean Grey movie, you could get out and do that. You're talking about Beast, you could do a Beast movie. You love Kelsey Grammer, and let him do it. Let him get back out there.
I do love Kelsey Grammer. He's a fine actor.
Yeah.
I was talking to my dad, and my dad's like, "Oh, did you see what is that movie? Is it The Expendables?
Yeah.
With the action.
Yeah, they all come back.
And my dad was like, "Oh, Frasier's in the."
Yeah, it's so weird.
I like it. Someone in the chat mentioned that he is Southern, and he is from Alabama, so maybe he does have he at least was familiar and grew up around that accent, and not that necessarily Alabama and Louisiana accents are the same. But I'm also looking at his.
But when you're just doing a movie and you just got to say something in a Southern drawl, you'll be fine.
I'm also looking here, Greg, at just his the movies he's done.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of movies.
He has.
G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra, which was a travesty,
was
one of those movies. But he was, 21 Jump Street and then 22 Jump Street are big movies. He was in John, which was just a weird movie. My girlfriend made me watch that movie. It's the one with why can't I think of his name?
Wait, Don John?
Yeah.
The one with Joseph
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, yeah. He plays, I guess he plays his buddy. Connor Varro is his character. It's a cameo.
Oh, I vaguely remember.
Anyway,
this.
I think that it's an interesting thing. God bless him. Good luck. And we'll be interested in seeing that movie. I think we'll talk a lot more about
if you look at the list of Marvel movies, there are more canary in the coal mine. Why are we getting this movie than Gambit is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? When they came out with that giant slate. Here's the problem with the Marvel movies thing right now, is that it pains me to say, of course, but I'm a comic book fan. You know this. Mm-hmm. But I'm a DC fanboy. Mm. Back in the 90s, they did the Spider-Man the Clone Saga, and I was like, I'm done with Marvel. Like that's how hardcore I was. I'm like, I will not read Marvel again. And went to DC. So I have I have mainstream knowledge of Marvel outside of Spider-Man. I read a lot of Spider-Man before I said goodbye. And I watched the animated series, obviously. Spiderman. Joel Spiderman.
Lawyer.
Our lawyer. Our lawyer at large for Kind of Funny. And so when I did that, I lost a whole bunch of information. And now we are to the point in Marvel movies where, like at the end of Winter Soldier, spoilers, their after credit scene, right, is Quicksilver and then the Scarlet Witch in the little containment cells or whatever. And that happened. Christine turned to me and she's like, wow, that's crazy that they're there, right? And I go, yeah, who are they? Like, we have gotten so far now out into the weeds that I don't know these characters. And I'm in the comic book world, right? Like, I should know more. I mean, I know the Scarlet Witch when I see her, you know what I mean? And I obviously know Quicksilver when I see him. But in terms of why they're caged or who is it, what anything like that, or like in like the Collector and stuff in Guardians of the Galaxy, period. And then you start seeing, all right, now we're doing Ant-Man, and now we're doing Black Panther, and now we're doing a whole bunch of other ones that are in there that are just like, I'm like, I don't have an affinity for these characters, and I'm sure a whole bunch of people do, but is the Marvel branding enough to get people to come? Now, that's how I used to talk before Guardians of the Galaxy. Then Guardians of the Galaxy came out.
With the raccoon?
Yeah. Creature. With the raccoon creature. Guardians of the Galaxy comes out and blows the doors off everything. And it's like, all right, I guess right now it is enough just to have your Marvel logo on there.
It is for now. I still think, and a lot of people got mad at me on Twitter when this was announced, I think it was when Marvel announced their slate going all the way to 2020, I guess it was, about these various films that are interlocking with each other and intertwined with each other, that the bottom certainly has to come out eventually. Yeah. Families don't have enough money to bring their kids to see all these movies over and over again. Even adult nerds like us aren't going to want to see all this stuff. I'm interested to see how the dust settles in 5 years, because just like anything, too much is too much.
Funky Fresh Lowell says Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are certainly not in the weeds. I'm saying for somebody who grew up with my edification of Marvel, they are. And I'm sorry to break that to you. Granted, I knew Quicksilver, but I knew him as knockoff Flash from the DC crossover. Oh, there's this Quicksilver guy running around. And Scarlet Witch I know only really on the cursory way from reading a little bit of like Civil War and stuff like that and how she gets introduced in those main things. If you were to come up to me right now, I don't even know what Scarlet Witch's real attachment to everybody is, right? Like she's in the Avengers. If I was looking for Scarlet Witch, she'd be in an Avengers comic, right? Like that's where she'd show up and do her shit, and She'd be all wow, wow. Like, what are her powers?
I mean, you know, you're asking.
Her powers are pink and red. I don't know.
I mean, I'm super ignorant about that.
But let me tell you all about the cameos in Arrow.
I have 2 questions. Where is the Omega Red movie?
Yeah,
we got to get one of those. And what was that guy with the armor? Silver Samurai?
Oh yeah.
I just had that action figure.
But he popped up. He popped up in the Wolverine movie.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was out there with the animanium crap. She's Magneto's daughter. Yeah, so she's X-Men. See what I mean? I don't know what the fuck's happening. It is not lipstick, everybody. Nick, I look like I'm wearing lipstick.
All right.
More movie news.
More movie news?
Or are we jumping around? I thought you'd stay. You
go. We can do more movie news.
Your thing.
Let's go to our old site IGN, who had an interesting story today about Star Wars, and specifically Revenge of the Sith, which is episode 3.
Rise.
Lord Vader.
Rise.
So, in my opinion, and I know a lot of people don't share this opinion, I think episode 3 is the weakest of the prequels, but I know a lot of people love that movie more than the episode 1, episode 2. They're all bad. But at IGN, this is what it says, basically. StarWars.com has revealed that Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith will make its 3-day debut during the Star Wars in Anaheim, California later this year. Revenge of the Sith, originally released in 2005, was the installment that brought the Star Wars saga full circle. The site says that Lucasfilm carefully converted the film so fans will be able to relive the movie's epic moments in 3D glory while retaining, quote, the look of the original movie.
Oh, good. Okay.
Which I think was the, end quote. Which I think is the
green screen?
Yeah, which is just one giant screen that they did animations on. Star Wars Celebration runs from April 16th to 19th. Phantom Menace 3D will also be there. Star Wars Rebels Season 2's first episode, Attack of the Clones, will also premiere in 3D. So basically, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith will all be in 3D at this thing.
All right.
It's a nice primer for Episode 7, I guess. I don't know why we want to relive and go back to the prequels.
And Padme.
Man.
Is it only at Celebration?
Apparently.
Well, there you go. Then that's why. I mean, because if you're a Star Wars fan, you want to see more Star Wars. That makes sense.
Yeah,
It's something new and another way to get some money from you.
It's unclear, but anyway, yeah. So how do you feel about all that? I mean, I'm kind of interested in the false admiration that the prequels are getting in the time leading up to 7, unless of course they're waiting to kind of put 4, 5, and 6 a little closer to give it a new treatment, re-release. I don't know why you wouldn't re-release those in theaters, kind of like they did in '97
with the original.
I think it was '97 or '98 with special editions. Yeah, even though you want to get rid of all that stuff like Jabba and A New Hope, for instance, even though he was originally in the New Hope, of course.
Yeah.
So it's just a little throwaway piece.
What do I think of that?
Yeah.
Not much. I mean, it makes sense. I think it's like PlayStation Experience, right? Like, PlayStation Experience is an event for PlayStation fans, so I think you can come in and you can get away with a 2-hour press conference that was super nerdy and had, Gio up there talking about all these Vita games, right? Like, that doesn't fly at E3, but it flies to PlayStation Experience. I think it's the same thing here, right? The fact that they're not, at least now, announcing it, releasing this 3D redo, everywhere, across every theater, shows that they know their audience and who's actually going to care about this. Because it's like we always talk about, right? Like, you're an old man, and you love the old Star Wars, and Tim is a young buck, and he doesn't really mind the new Star Wars.
Does he not? I mean, is that the conclusion?
I thought that's what it was. I thought he was cooler with it. The young kids in the Twitch chat, they don't care. Hey, if you're young, do you hate the new Star Wars? That's all you need to tell me.
Well, some people, I mean, I've read in the comments that some people are saying that they grew up with them, so that makes sense that they would like those most. Oyster Prime, I think was his name, said Salacious Crumb is the best Star Wars character, and he's definitely up there.
And that's the one that had the slaves. He had Anakin and his mom.
No, that's Watto.
This is the one who leads the band in the cantina.
No, that's no. I was gonna say Max Rebo, but that's the guy in the Jabba's palace. What are the guys' names?
Here you go. Kumail loved the first 3 movies. The prequels are okay. 21 New Star Wars sucks. Oh no.
Figrin Dan, I think, is the guy. Is
that
that also the guy in Jabba's palace? I can't remember anymore. Who cares?
I know you love that IG-88.
I do love IG-88. Okay. Let's move on to gaming news, Greg.
Finally.
This is, I think, the biggest...
Keep looking right at the light. That's stupid.
This is pretty substantial news. PlayStation 4 has officially sold 18.5 million units.
That's a lot.
That's incredible. I mean, that's in about a little over a year.
Yeah.
The sales are through the holiday season. The crazy thing is that from the beginning of the shopping season, so we would say maybe mid to late November through December, 4.1 million consoles were sold. And so there's another statistic we'll talk about in a minute, but this is substantial. I mean, this is in PS2 and Wii territory still.
Yeah.
So people saying that consoles were going to die, and so obviously they were wrong. We've talked about that many times. Obviously they're stronger than ever, and people love them, and they're more dynamic. You can watch, you can Twitch stream your stuff and play downloadable games, play retail games and movies. Blah, blah, blah. It's a great entertainment. It's a great entertainment device. But what I'm most curious about is the sustained sales. Like, who are they selling these consoles to? And with Uncharted 4, basically the only major AAA exclusive still announced for the console. I mean, the orders coming out and stuff like that. What do you make of these sales? I mean, who do you think are buying these, and what do you think the attach rate is?
It's always the same way, right? And the fact that, and this is for who's buying them, right? Now you have the people who are going to friends' houses and seeing everything a PlayStation 4 can do, or just what theoretically any next-gen system can do, but since PlayStation 4 is like, this is what's happening. You go there, you want to watch Netflix, you pop it on, you want to play a game, you pop out, oh my god, this does all these cool things, yeah, it doesn't work if the hackers DDoS it, but don't worry about that. And you know what I mean? Like, that's what I always talked about with why I love console launches so much, is because it's for nerds like us and you probably at home, where we're tip of the sword, right? We go out, we get these things, and then we go home and we disperse that information to people, right? That's how the Wii took off. Is that I remember, it came out Sunday after the Friday launch of the PlayStation 3, and I was covering for the Columbia Daily Tribune. Shout out to the Columbia Daily Tribune. And I went to cover the midnight launch of the PlayStation 3 or whatever. I talked to people waiting in line, and then I walked over the next day and got my Wii pre-order I got. I waited in line for a couple months before. Got it, walked home, and it was at the time, the PS3 launch was so hot, and that's what everybody wanted. And everybody in that line was buying them to sell them. Whereas the Wii was gamers who were super excited about a new way to play games. Then I came home, and it was totally a Trojan horse, right? I brought it home, I wanted to play Zelda, and then I was like, this bowling's fun. And then Mom came over for Thanksgiving, right?
Right.
And then she was like, I want this. And I was like, whoa, you want a video game console? You've never wanted a video game console, let alone one that I have and that's current and contemporary. And so then that's when it all took off. It's like people came home, nerds like us came home with them, and then normal family members saw them like, this is easy, this is fun, I'd love to do this.
Absolutely. I think that has a great deal to do with it. I think the marketing and the messaging was spot on too. And I guess continues to be, even with blunderous things like Drive Club, things are still trucking on now.
But it's like that for that, you have to be so into the industry to know that, right? Like, you have to know that there's that kind of problem. Because you figure for a normal person who's just buying this for entertainment here and there, they're buying it and they're probably thinking Assassin's Creed or what, all these different things. They're not thinking about, oh my god, I got to do this, I got to do that. They want this one thing.
I want to put these sales figures into context for people, because I think that
some context.
I think this is significant. The PS4 came out in November 2013, so it's been on the market for 13 and a half months or so. Let's say 14 months, just to be even. PlayStation 4 is only 3 million units behind GameCube in terms of lifetime sales, which was manufactured and on sale for 5.5, 6 years. The original Xbox, so the GameCube did 21.7 million. The original Xbox did 24 million. Atari 2600, which was really the first phenomenon, obviously, in games in the late 70s and early 80s, did 30 million. N64, 32.9. Sega Genesis, 40. So now you're getting into really esteemed territory. If in other words,
is it going to maintain though? Is it going to keep going?
I think we've been asking that question over and over again, and it is. So It's like it's. I don't expect that. I don't expect that it's just going to be this comic boardroom chart where it just goes all the way up.
It's just Shuhei dancing with money bags.
But I don't think it's when you start getting above Genesis at 40 million, you start getting into SNES at 49, the NES at 61, the Game Boy Advance at 81. There's a lot of big jumps from there. But I think PS4 is just fine. I'm sure Sony is absolutely thrilled about how the console is doing.
With good reason.
Yeah, and I'm most interested to see if it can sustain it, how these games do. The Order comes out in February. Bloodborne comes out right after that. Uncharted 4 will assumably come out towards the end of the year. And I promise you that there are unannounced PS4 games that haven't been announced.
But you know all about it. You've seen, that you've played.
Oh, yeah. Played and seen them all.
Somebody asked me last night if I could violate any NDAs because they were signed with IGN. I'm like, first off, nobody's showing me games this early.
No, but you don't have to know anything to know that there is a bunch of dormant studios that Sony owns that haven't announced anything yet. So,
Big Tony Style says, to put that in perspective with GameCube, original Xbox, this is insane to think about.
Yeah, it is insane.
Yeah.
And I love the GameCube, but there were only 21 million of us. There are already 18 plus million people with a PS4. It's unbelievable. Let's stay with games, Greg.
Okay.
Let's see. Where do we want to go from here? Oh, this was an interesting one. This is just kind of a throwaway story, but I thought it was kind of funny considering on Podcast Beyond how much we talked about name changing and how Xbox Live has let you change your name forever and all these kinds of things. Minecraft, I didn't realize this. There's an issue in Minecraft since the alpha, I guess, of the game launched in 2009.
Yeah.
Or the pre-release launched in 2009, where you can't change your name, your username in the game, I guess, on PC.
Interesting.
And now you can change your name.
Oh, yay.
Or I guess that option's coming very soon. So people are feeling our struggle.
The struggle is real. The struggle is real
on other platforms.
I think it's been there forever, right? Like I don't like for us on Kinda Funny, right? That, and I think it's just Twitch in general, is that if you leave it all one word, you can't intercap it. So like we're capital K, then everything's lowercase. I wish I could do K, F, G. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's just like little stuff like that. This is why you got to think it through. This is a good example of things that I'm sure I could reach out and try to fix for other people. And I could talk to people at Twitch, yada yada. But another thing I just wasn't thinking of. You have to have a little alias in front of every one of your emotes you give to your subs, which is what we do. Thanks for subbing. And I wasn't thinking when I was doing it, and I put Portillo. And so now all of our emotes begin Portillo. So it's like Portillo, Pure One, Portillo, producer / or whatever it is.
That's so weird.
So like that's how we look now, and I apologize for that. But there you go. It's another lesson of read all the fine print.
Yeah. So the struggle is real, Greg. The struggle is real. It's also everywhere. Let's go to, I'm excited. So retro gamers out there will be really excited about this, especially if you grew up with PC and you were playing games on DOS.
DOS.
2,400 MS-DOS games can be played for free right now on the internet. Apparently this is legal. I don't know exactly how this works.
All the companies that made them are long dead.
This story comes from The Verge, and this is what it says. The Internet Archive is turning into one hell of an arcade. After releasing emulators so that you could play hundreds of Atari and arcade games right in your browser, the site has made its gaming library even bigger. Starting now, you can play close to 2,400 MS-DOS games without paying a cent. The new browser-based emulator is still in beta, so you might see some bugs, but it includes a huge range of classics. That includes the likes of id Software's Commander Keen, which is, of course, we'll talk about that in a minute, I guess.
Okay.
The apocalyptic RPG Wasteland, the original Prince of Persia, early FPS games like Wolfenstein 3D, and many more. There's even Mario Teaches Typing. As with past releases from the archive, there are no instructions for how to play each game, so you need to do a bit of experimenting. But that's all part of the charm. Check out the games right here. And I think so it's archive.org. Well, you can just go and Google it. I don't want it. It's a long URL.
You hit the Google.
Let's not read it.
You got the Google.
I'm especially interested about Commander Keen because Commander Keen, of course, is id Software's really very early game. It's a side scroller before they made Wolfenstein. And a lot of people out there ask me for book recommendations for game books and game scholarship and history, and there's a lot of great books. Blake Harris's Console Wars is probably the most recent must-read, and that's about Super Nintendo and Genesis and the competition between Sega and Nintendo. That's a must-read game. But there's another great book called, let me see, I get the author, but it's called Masters of Doom, and it's about id Software. It's by David Kushner, and it's about the founding of id Software and how they were making these games. And it just reminded me that that's such a great book and really one of the must-reads out there. So if you're interested in reading about video game history and really want some inside stories about really one of the most influential developers of all time, which is id, with Wolfenstein, arguably the first first-person shooter, which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah.
That's a must-read book.
Luke B4TT says, just bought a PlayStation 4 and Vita to complement my Xbox One. We're talking about who's still buying these. I still haven't bought any AAA games. So far, I'm relying on my Instant Game Collection and Transistor. I'm actually a little sad that I haven't turned it on more so far. Can't wait for Uncharted later this year.
Yeah, me too. I hope that Uncharted makes it.
I still predict it won't.
We'll see.
Is that up yet for the Gamecast?
Our predictions? No, I don't think so.
Remember, we do the Gamecast over at youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Check it out there.
I'm super stoked about Uncharted, but I want them to take their time, so if they need it, take the time.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty excited about those 2,400 DOS games. We should stream some of those at some point.
I don't know. It's one of those you're naming them on. I don't even know how many I've ever played. I wonder how many I've played.
I don't know. You've not played Wolfenstein?
No, I played Wolfenstein.
The original one, like Wolfenstein 3D?
Yeah. I played it on the...
Commander Keen?
No, not the Tester. What's the other one I did? The Gauntlet. I was on the Gauntlet. Lost. Couldn't kill Hitler fast enough. I suck.
Let's jump to TV now, Greg.
Finally!
There's only one TV news item that I really want to talk to, and it's a PlayStation Vue is coming in 2015. We've known about PlayStation Vue, the basically Sony streaming service that will launch natively on PS4 and PS3, and then other Sony devices and non-Sony devices. Yeah. So presumably maybe like Netflix or Amazon Prime. This story comes by way of Polygon, which actually comes by way, it looks like, of IGN, and this is what it says.
The roundabout way to get to the news on the internet.
PlayStation Vue, Sony streaming television service for PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, is slated to launch during the first quarter of 2015. Company president and CEO Kaz announced. And this was at Sony's CES press conference.
Right, that was last night.
In Vegas right now. The streaming service was previously only made available to users with an invite-only beta preview, which I think happened late last year. PlayStation Vue will launch with a package of, quote, around 75 channels per market, said Sony last year. That includes local broadcast networks as well as cable channels from media companies such as Fox, NBC Universal, and Viacom. On-demand content will also be a part of the service, with the previous 3 days of popular programming, in quotes, available at all times, plus the ability for viewers to save episodes of their favorite shows to the cloud and retain access for up to 28 days. That's 4 weeks, Greg.
Oh, thank you.
According to the company, PlayStation Vue will deliver a more modern TV watching experience than legacy cable providers. Users will easily be able to search for the programming they want and explore features, explore, in quote, features which will let viewers filter live programming and on-demand offerings, blah, 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 blah.
I'm stoked. You and I want to get out of the cable game.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting next step, I think, towards... I mean, we're doing it here with our own show and our own YouTube channel and our own Twitch streams or whatever. People are unplugging from conventional cable because they want more a la carte options. And they want HBO Go, and they want Netflix, and they want Amazon, and they want Kind of Funny.
Nah.
And so I think this is a logical next step. I think Sony might be onto something here. The problem is that I think there's maybe a saturation because you're having all these different subscriptions going on. A lot of people want to cut the cord from cable because they feel like it's useless because they only watch 5% of what's on there. Like we only really watch sports on our cable box. But at the same time, when you want to save money, you want to save $100, $150 a month, but then you look at your cable, you look at your credit card statement, and you realize you're subscribed to 10 different things, and you're paying $150 a month anyway. So, so I'm interested to see how that all goes. What's your take?
I'm ready. Like, and the problem is when you start adding it up, right? Is the fact that I will gladly cut the cord on cable. I want to be able to watch the Bears games. I want to be able to watch Mizzou football. So then you have to get an ESPN package for Mizzou for sure. Get ESPN 3, right? Then I want AMC for The Walking Dead and Mad Men. And this is just now. Let's just talk about it right now, right? HBO for Game of Thrones, and then a whole bunch of great content they do. Their documentaries are amazing, right? So right there I have 3 channels that I'm into. And so how much would it cost to get each one of those? $20, a pass or whatever, maybe $9.99. That's $30. It's not. That's cheaper than what our cable portion of our cable bill is, right? Because it's really the internet that they get you for, because they know you can't live without it. But is it enough to then? What about when Christine wants to watch Total Divas? What about when you and I want to watch Seinfeld while we make dinner? Is that enough to break away? If there's something like this, does that fill it in? But does that then bump it up too far, right? Does that bump it up to $40, $50? That's the threshold question. The other thing, of course, is like, I thought about, well, then maybe I'll just quit out. I won't do any of the packages, and I'll just buy everything on on iTunes, right? But then it's like $3-4 an episode for HD content on Amazon too, right? And so then you start bouncing it around. Where if it's like if I'm going by shows, right? I guess I forgot the CW. I gotta get Arrow. I gotta get Flash.
You gotta get the
and
CW.
I can try to get that over the airwaves with the box. And so it's like, well, at what point do I have to weigh not only the cost of like, okay, I'm saving $20 on the cable bill every month, but just the ease of use that you can turn on the. You always talk about you like the cable being there, just knowing it's there. It's comforting, right? It's the same thing here, right? I mean, the DVR is amazing.
That's the big thing.
Once they step up and they make DVR, and I know some boxes do it, so blah, blah, blah. DVR on demand through my iPad and everything else, right? I'm set. Right now, you try to do it with Xfinity through Comcast, and it's like, well, only this or what's on demand, not what's on your DVR. But eventually, it'll all be sunk up.
I think that's the big thing, what you said, though, is the comfort of knowing it's there. I was talking to Ramon, my friend Ramon, about the idea of just being satisfied that you know it's there. That you might not watch cable ever, or like very rarely, but that if you're bored, you might be okay, like watching it and knowing it's there and tuning in and out or whatever, but it's becoming expensive. I think we need a radical shakeup of what's going on with cable and, basically the fact that we have to get all these channels that no one wants, that no one watches, to get the channels that we do want to watch. Right. Eventually, it's like what I was saying with, I guess the digital market on games, is a really good way to look at it, right? You buy Bloodborne on PS4 in a disc, it's $60. You buy Bloodborne on PSN, it's $60.
Yeah, that's no
the
good.
Minute Sony figures out, and they know that, we can charge $50 and cut the middleman and make more money for ourselves, but they're going to injure their partners, their retail partners. The minute someone has the courage in cable to be like, we don't want to do this anymore, we're going to shake it up and break the structure up, then we'll get the a la carte options we want. But it's a matter of
HBO's first move, right? They were talking about that they're going to start doing that now.
So I don't know, man. It's a thing.
It's a whole rigmarole.
It's a whole rigmarole. Now, Greg, let's talk about one more thing.
Hold on. Sometimes we can't keep the comments up with what's happening, right?
Yeah.
R. Seeley 1188 says, cancel your cable, download Showbox, movie box on jailbroken iOS. It will change your life. I don't want to jailbreak stuff.
No, I want everything on the up and up.
I want it to be easy, and I want it to be affordable, and I want to do it stuff. Bipolar Rick says, why is Greg on his phone so much? I texted Nick and Tim to bring me a water. I'm very thirsty. Remember yesterday? I was like, I know I need to bring a second water in. Immediately forgot.
Yeah, sorry, we're getting texts. We're getting, we're on, we're trying to keep up.
It's a live show here too. People are giving us the information.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're trying to keep up. This is an interesting thing. So a lot of people, Greg, have been talking today. We'll stay in the realm of gaming, I guess, from here on out.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Tim.
Yes.
Thanks, Tim. That's Tim, everybody. There he is.
Wait, am I on the...
I don't know.
You can't even see anything?
No, it's this thing. My computer's no longer responding to commands. I think that's something. I'm not going to screw around with everything. You know what I mean?
The screen looks good, though.
Okay, good.
The screen looks
great.
great.
That's all that
No,
matters.
I know the screen looks... The screen looks great.
Screen.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. We have 4,000 best friends.
Damn right. We have a lot more than that. Some of them have jobs. They're busy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so a lot of people have been talking today. I think it's been going around about a senior software engineer being hired. This was at Xbox, and this was something that NeoGaf kind of dug up and people have been reporting on. So I just want to read through the job listing because I think that there's some interesting things in here, although people will obviously be able to make their own interpretation of it. And I really like the way Microsoft talks about itself here and Xbox.
We're a laid-back environment focused on making the best technology possible and user experience.
Senior software developer and development engineer. Changing the world with technology takes a special kind of person in just the right environment, Greg. At Microsoft, Xbox and Xbox Live forever changed living room entertainment by connecting people and each other and the entertainment they love. Then we turned around and created Connect, which redefines how people interact with the entertainment in new ways every day. And we're just beginning. A new team has formed in Microsoft's Xbox division with a specific purpose: to push the envelope of today's and tomorrow's technology as we explore new ideas from the ground floor. It begins with veterans from our Xbox 360, Xbox Live, and Connect. But we're growing as quickly as our imaginations can be translated into code. Joining this team comes with risks. Most of what we work on is top secret. You may not know what the new project is until you've accepted an offer. Not all of our ideas will fly. We will fail and fail fast on some projects. We will celebrate those failures because they are vital to making sure the right ideas take off in a big way. If you want a comfortable standard role at Microsoft with no ambiguity or risk, please don't apply. But if you're passionate about the potential for Connect to continue to revolutionize entertainment and are a seasoned software engineer with the skills to prototype and build the future of premium Connect-powered experiences, we have a growing team of talented people who want to take the entertainment into the future. So I won't go into all the technical responsibilities because we don't understand it anyway. What do you think of that?
That sounds cool.
It's cool in the sense that it's written in a very self-aware way.
Right.
That Microsoft's bravado is kind of what bit them with Xbox One. At least in the beginning, Xbox One is obviously doing fine, but and that they're talking about, the failures, we have to embrace our failures, understand them. This is what they talked about too with Xbox One's failure to roll out properly and stuff like that.
Roll out.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
No, it's cool. I mean, that for me, that's what I love so much about the age we're in right now, is the fact that I think social media and the speed of communication means that companies, at least in our realm, gaming realm, can't be like they were, right? You can't be like, we're just the best and da 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 da. Like, Sony's doing so well right now based on the fact of Shu, of Adam, of Gio, of these people who are like, we're personalities, and when inevitably the PlayStation Network goes down or this bad thing happens, you can reach out and we'll try to talk to you or try to fix it to the best of their abilities, obviously. And that was the thing that Microsoft was lacking for a while, right? When they came out and they were like, what Xbox One's going to focus on, it's going to be your all-in-one entertainment experience, and here's our TV shows, da-da-da-da. It really cemented them all of a sudden as the complete opposite of what PlayStation did, where they came out, and I'm Mark Cerny, and I'm not the most beautiful man in the room, but here's what's happening, here are all the specs, we screwed up doing the cell processor last time, sorry about that, this is a high-end PC pretty much, port your games, we'll help you, Adam comes out, here are all these indies we're bringing, you know what I mean, like, grassroots is the way to go right now, and be an open-facing company, and we're another example. I think you already mentioned that, right? Of just like, we're very upfront with you that somebody's like, oh, the camera's blurry, like, we're working on it, like, we're trying to figure those things out as we go. This is us branching out to do an independent thing, to be completely honest with our audience, to be completely open with our audience, and that's the way you can see it on Patreon, you can see it on our subs, you can see it on just a number of people watching this. Like, people like that. They want to be part of that. You are part of Kind of Funny. People feel like they're part of PlayStation, and that's why PlayStation can go have a PlayStation experience. I wonder, outside of Ryan McCaffrey, JK, do people feel like they're part of Xbox? You know what I mean? Like, right. You and I got in on PlayStation and knew everything about PlayStation, just like Ryan McCaffrey got into Xbox, right? Like that was our beat, and we knew it, and we covered it really well, and so on and so forth, and extrapolate out from there. And neither Ryan or us are fanboys, right? It's just we're experts. We know everything about it. That's how we had to cover it. But I still feel
we're fans.
No, totally. No, don't get me wrong.
Well, there's a differentiation.
Sure. Oh, I see what you're saying. And so now, we go to PlayStation Experience, and we're surrounded by all these other like-minded fans. And this could just be my own ignorance, and if you're a big Xbox fan, let me know in the comments. I don't know if there's that brand identity for Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lack of... The brand is newer.
Yeah.
Xbox really only has one successful console so far.
Sith UX says, I love my Xbox One, but it's not a community.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I agree in a sense. I mean, I think there's multiple things, right? I think Xbox is a younger community. Yeah. Not literally in age in terms of the people that use it, but literally in age in terms of its competition and the mystique that it's built around its IP and stuff like that. That said, Microsoft revolutionized online gameplay on consoles to an absurd degree. I mean, Xbox Live is way above and beyond what we play with on PSN or especially on Nintendo's consoles.
And it's been that way forever.
Right, exactly. And they just don't have a huge group of first-party studios that make a lot of games for them, and so there's less IP to identify with, I think. But I think the IP that people do identify with on Xbox, Halo and Gears of War specifically, are bigger than anything on PlayStation. So it's
that's a good point. But that's always the thing is, I feel like they could do a Gears of War event, and that would be huge. The Halo event, but an Xbox event, I don't feel like it's the same way. And I think it's also part of it is in the fact that Xbox is always very much Microsoft, whereas PlayStation and Sony, and granted this works to their folly a lot, but they're not. You don't see the crossover as much, right? You always see with Xbox like Windows 8 or this, that, or the other. Or we're gonna merge into this phone or do that. You know what I mean? And like, granted, Sony's tried and failed to do that with the PSP phone and different things like that. But you still feel like it reminds me a lot of like CBSI, GameSpot, and Giant Bomb, right? At any point, Giant Bomb is the cool indie label. You know what I mean? They're the imprint label. They can go do their own thing, and you don't think, oh man, CBSI is doing really cool stuff. PlayStation does something cool, and you're like, oh man, PlayStation doing something cool, not Sony. You could easily see PlayStation spinning off and being its own company.
Yeah, I don't think that's beyond the realm of possibility. To be honest.
Well, that's the whole thing you always talk about with the fact of like PlayStation is what makes money.
Yeah, Sony needs them. But that wasn't always the case. Let's remember when PS3 launched, they were hemorrhaging money.
Musica says Lunchbox One. I don't know why I've never heard that before. That's great.
Greg, by the way, some people in the comments couldn't help but notice talking about the loud gulps.
Yeah, we do need to do a video. Those are honest to God gulps. That's how I swallow. And I used to do it, I thought, to get on Colin's nerves. And now either I can't stop or this is how I've always done it. We're going to do a video on Kind of Funny where Colin teaches me to swallow.
There's a fundamental flaw in the way people swallow out is that they're pushing it down when you really need to let it go down. Let it go down. You don't have to get crazy with it. That's a little better. I mean, just be easy with it. You don't have to take like you're taking a dry pill or something like that, Greg. All right, there's one more.
I just don't know how to do it.
There's one more piece of news I want to talk
about.
One
more piece of news.
Then we'll begin wrapping it up. And this is a big one. This is one that came out today. Is that our friends over at Game Informer have scored an awesome cover for their February issue, and it's Uncharted 4: A Thief's End.
Wow.
And here's what they say on their website in part. And this was written by who? Kimberly Wallace wrote this. She says, after the rousing success of The Last of Us, Naughty Dog is putting its Uncharted series back in the limelight. The charismatic thrill-seeker Nathan Drake returns in Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. This time around, he's searching for a mythical pirate utopia in Madagascar, and is joined by his long-lost brother, Sam. Naughty Dog introduced Sam at the PlayStation Experience Expo this past December. We were there.
Yeah.
And after a visit to the studio in Santa Monica, we have the scoop on what this mysterious man brings to the adventure. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End takes place 3 years after the events of Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception.
Damn, really? He looks old.
And Drake's life has changed significantly.
Our
cover story reveals what Nathan has been up to, what conflicts he's facing, and why he got back into treasure hunting life. We also saw an extended version of the PlayStation Experience demo, showcasing more gameplay and an extra scene between Drake and Sam that teases more of what's at stake. Find out Naughty Dog's approach to a new-gen Uncharted game and how it's pushing the boundaries of the hardware to create the most trying adventure yet. Nathan Drake has secrets, and this entry promises to expose them.
Nice.
So that's exciting.
That's super exciting. I can't wait to find out more.
You guys can go to GameInformer.com to see the cover. The cover looks very cool. Drake looks awesome on it. That'd be a great poster.
Yeah.
He does look older than 3 years after Deception, but we've also seen him in kind of a haggard state. We don't really know what the hell he looks like when he's just chilling on his couch, I guess.
Here's what we're going to do from now on.
Okay.
You have that document that you're using for this thing.
Yes.
I can pull those up. That's what I was trying to do here, but it's all frozen on the computer. Like, we're still broadcasting, so good on us. I don't want to screw that up. But for tomorrow's episode, hopefully it won't lock up and I'll be able to click around and bring stuff up like that. Because that'd be cool.
That show people.
Yeah.
Oh,
like when you're talking about this image, I can put the image up.
That'd be fantastic.
We're learning. You're learning with us here on Kind of Funny Games, everybody.
So, not much more to say there, except for we got some clarity on some of the little pillars of Uncharted 4's plot.
Right.
Which is kind of cool.
We know that there's a brother.
Well, we've known that.
We know
we
he's
didn't know
played
his
by Troy
name,
Baker.
though.
No.
So his name's Sam.
Yeah.
We didn't know that Drake's Deception and Thief's End are 3 years apart.
Yeah.
We didn't know that they were searching for a pirate utopia in Madagascar. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's a few little tidbits here that I think are very tantalizing.
How long does this take place after the Madagascar animated movies from DreamWorks?
It's a prequel.
Oh, wow. Okay,
yeah.
This is where we put the Chris Rock zebra in Madagascar.
Time is a loop, Greg.
It's a flat circle.
So that was fine. I mean, that's basically all I have
for
news today.
Okay.
And what do we want to do now, Greg? What say you?
I don't care. The chat's been popping off.
Okay, let's go to the listeners.
Blitz647 says it better not be like Uncharted 3. Go fuck yourself,
oh,
Blitz647.
damn.
Uncharted 3 is awesome.
Jeez.
Oh, he knows I'm kidding. If you're watching this show and don't expect me to curse at you, I would have loved. I don't know what you think this show's all about. I mean, Uncharted 3 gets such a bad rap.
Yeah, it really does.
I tell you what. Uncharted 2, great. Too much like Uncharted 1. Uncharted 3 switched it up. I hope this one's switching it up. Obviously it is. If we're rolling with this brother, for at least part of it. Because again, there's that whole theory that Mitch Dyer introduced me to, that the brother is narrating the old thing and he's bad and he's mean and then that's going to get bad.
What's the theory about some involvement in Golden Abyss?
Oh, the theory on Old Golden Abyss is, remember, you had that guy you double-crossed. Or that double-crossed you and you left him behind. And that he could be the one saying, oh, it's been 10 years, blah, blah, blah. But remember, the problem is that Todd Stashwick, who was in the project, who did the narration on that trailer, has since said that he was playing Nathan Drake's brother, which is now being played by Troy Baker, who is what we saw in the demo. So you assume that at some point in that demo, he's going to double cross over and become a bad guy. Or at least yell at his brother in a really... I mean, he's monologuing. He's monologuing like the Joker monologues to Batman. That doesn't sound like me just getting mad at you and then be like, well, let's go back on this treasure hunt in Madagascar.
Agreed.
Trouble is afoot.
Agreed.
For the Drake clan.
Yeah, I think, and I've said this before, and we'll reiterate it again. When I did the history of Naughty Dog, and I was at Naughty Dog for 3 days with really unprecedented access to the studio and the people that work there, I talked to a lot of people there. And people from the head of the studio, like Evan Wells, down to folks like Amy Hennig, who writes Uncharted, or wrote Uncharted. There's a lot of agreement there that if Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3 came out opposite one another, that people would feel the same exact way about Uncharted 2 that they do about Uncharted 3, which is to say that they set the bar so high with Uncharted 2 because it was so different than Uncharted 1, Drake's Fortune, that was the big jump. And so when the jump wasn't as significant in terms of graphical prowess or something like that, people were like, whoa, blah, blah. I mean, like, I still think the set pieces, one of my favorite parts of the whole Uncharted trilogy is the cruise ship. And I absolutely adore that. So there's people at Naughty Dog that absolutely believe that if Uncharted 3 was Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 2 is Uncharted 3, people would be shit-talking Uncharted 2.
Yeah.
And
I agree with that.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah. What have you done for me lately, kind of thing?
So let's, do you want to go back to and find...
Sure.
Find a little something?
Repulsor 101 says, Go Islanders!
Yes.
Big C-Man says, exactly, Colin. He got that. What time is the new Let's Play coming up? We haven't talked at all about some of the content.
Yeah, so let's get into that. So that's 5 minutes away, I think, is the next Let's Play.
Yeah. So in 5 minutes, Colin over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames is going to try to teach me how to play Mega Man 2. Tuesday's theme on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames is Teaching Tuesdays, where we show each other games and then try to teach them how to play it. Colin is trying to teach all of us, me, Nick, Tim, how to play Mega Man 2. And the idea is that we each pick up Robot Master, we set off to do it. When we inevitably die, Colin takes over, beats that Robot Master, or if we've gotten past that Robot Master by some hook or crook, you beat the next one until we beat the entire game. So this Teaching Tuesday series we're doing will then eventually end with Mega Man 2 being beaten. You have seen everything.
Right, and obviously because on our Patreon at patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, we reached a milestone yesterday due to everyone's generosity out there. I will be live streaming at some point, I assume in the next month or month and a half, maybe. I don't know. We got to figure out a schedule. I'll be live streaming in one day Mega Man 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10.
We'll make a big deal about that. We'll give you a heads up for sure, so you know they're coming, and like we'll have them a doc. A lot of people, and this is something that was interesting in that all of our content is pretty well scheduled. You know what I mean? It's the same thing every day, but yesterday was basically like, we quit IGN bar, and all this information and all these weird things. This morning, if you didn't check, over on youtube.com/kindafunny, a 2-hour-long Game Over Greggy show with Kevin Smith went up. Please go watch that. Tweet at Kevin Smith. Thank him so much for doing that show with us. We need to put out not a calendar, as people are saying, but basically I'm going to talk
that
to...
can hurt. Why can't the calendar hurt, though?
Because where do you put that in one place? What I want to do is, and this is what a lot of people do already, but we didn't do it this time, and I think just because we're getting our branding down. I want to talk to Nick about doing the YouTube banners to be the schedule time-wise every day of what you're getting. Because it's simple, right? Like, on Kind of Funny, it would be midnight, Game Over Greggy show. What's the other thing we do?
On Kind of Funny. On Kind of Funny.
Oh, like a conversation with Colin.
Yeah, conversation with Colin's coming back.
Yeah, but those
Follow the Leader's coming back. So
those are harder to do. That's harder to do. Because that's like all over the place. Unless we just pick a day where all that stuff goes. Then unboxings go up on that channel too. There's an unboxing going up today. Maybe already went up of us unboxing these laptops.
We'll figure it out. I mean,
we want to make sure you know where to go for content.
Yeah, we want to make sure. We know that this is like, again, a shotgun spread shot, a grape shot of information. And we're going to narrow it down and make it easier for you to understand it all. We figured that this was the best way, and we believe that this is the best way to position everything because we want to make sure you're getting what you want. You want the games content, you get it here. You want the everything else content, you get it there. You want both. Etc. and so on. By the way, Axiom Verge just let me know in the
breaking news from Axiom Verge.
Let me know in the chat that they sent us a new build of the game.
Damn! Can we stream it?
And Tom Happa, I received that package, and we will absolutely be streaming it. And Axiom Verge, as you guys know, is one of my most anticipated games. It is Metroid on Vita and PS4.
Is it? Do we need a PS4 for it? Or
we can use a PS4 debug or a PC.
Hey, we got one of those.
So very exciting about that. So. Package received.
Do you want to do it now?
Axiom Verge. I think it's embargoed, so we'll do it.
Damn it!
So.
I spit on my computer.
Oh, that's not good. So.
It's okay.
Greg.
Yeah.
Do we want to keep going to the users, or what do we want to do? What's your flavor?
You're the host of the show, bro. You got something else to talk about. There's a lot of people popping off here in the chat still. People yelling about Uncharted, Sling TV. People want us to use.
Greg, what's that picture behind you? I keep trying to catch a glimpse at it. Are you talking about?
We'll just show them all. It doesn't matter.
Well, I think is he talking about Shuhei? Or is it behind you? So
well, if he said behind me.
Oh, yeah, so no, it would be, oh, okay.
This is fan art of Clementine. You remember her from The Walking Dead? Says up there, she'll remember that. It says Nick Miner. Everybody can Google Nick Miner, find him, he did it. I don't remember if I bought it or if somebody sent it to me. I think somebody sent it to me.
Oh, wait. Axiom Verge, stream whatever you like.
God damn!
All right, we'll see what we can do. Maybe today or tomorrow we'll do something, I'm sure.
I mean, what do we gotta do here? Before the third boss, you could.
Oh, there's no embargo. I just saw embargo information underlined. I see. Okay, cool.
Okay. How about this? Forward that to me. Okay. I will go over there and see if I can get the computer to come back from its dead stick.
Okay.
And then, because if we can get it back, because I can screen capture it and we could just go. Well, but you're gonna be so far off too, I guess.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll do it in the next
We want it to look good. We'll do it. Tomorrow we can do some Axiom Verge.
Sure.
Or afternoon. Remember, what's
great.
happening here is we're shutting down the show eventually. Then we're going to GameSpot to be on the lobby. We're going to do a live show at Lobby. Danny O'Dwyer, talk about video games, talk about Kind of Funny, talk about leaving IGN. You can go to twitch.tv/GameSpot to see it, or you can come to twitch.tv/KindofFunnyGames. We're going to host GameSpot stream so people can be chatting away in here. I believe Tim is going to bring his computer. He'll be chatting with you guys too as we go through and do all this stuff. So anyways, Clementine here. Then this is Batgirl, the new Babs Tarr design, signed by Babs Tarr for when she was on Up at Noon. And then over here, this is Big Boss.
The boss.
You remember Boss? There he is.
Don't put the picture in front of the camera. You're gonna make it. Nick's gonna freak out. Okay. So I think, Greg, it's time to bid everyone adieu.
Well, we're gonna do sub chat.
Let's do that for. Yeah. So I'm curious, and we'll figure this out on the fly. Do we want to roll out? Are we making an assumption otherwise that when we do the sub chat that everyone stays?
No, I mean clearly you can see people leave.
So then we should roll out everything we need to say and then go to sub chat and then end extremely abruptly.
Sure. I'm gonna tell you, this will be one of the worst sign-offs ever because that computer is frozen. It's still streaming, so I'm basically have to go over there, click around, probably Control Alt Delete it to shut it down. I imagine we'll figure out. I think it's the program stuck. But before we do that, we're gonna switch to sub chat. It's what we do. We do 10 to 15 minutes with people where we sub chat. We also, though, remember, are making a prize box where we pull out the swag we have, we put it in, and then we give it away to the people.
So, well, what do we already have
on Friday? Subs.
What do we already have in the box?
That's what we have right now in the box is the Hulkamania edition.
Okay.
Nick earlier asked me if he needed to throw this, if we needed the chamois anymore. I said no. He put it right back in the prize box. We're giving away an Origin t-shirt. This is what's been added to the prize box yesterday. Now, on Friday, we will go through our Twitch subs, randomly pick a name. Somebody asked in the chat earlier, is it UK, US? It's whatever. We'll figure it out.
Whatever's covered. We're going to pick a name with no thought about where in the world you are.
Where in the world is... You don't want to finish that for me?
Carmen Sandiego.
Thank you. Oh, and because we've been talking about so much DC stuff, we're going to add the original Flash TV show, the complete series.
On VHS?
No, it's DVD.
Oh.
Right? Not Blu-ray? Yeah, it's DVD. Cool. Remember this show? There's Mark Hamill. Remember him?
I didn't know Mark Hamill did anything.
Hell yeah.
In the what year was this? 1990?
Yeah. Simpsons ran him out of business, man.
Interesting. Really? Is that the story?
Yeah. Who knows overall, but The Simpsons was just such a juggernaut. They put it up against it.
Interesting. Failed. Cool. So there it is. It's in the prize box.
We'll keep adding things in the prize box throughout the week. Friday, we'll pick somebody, send it to them. They'll have a great time. So now you get to pimp all your stuff like you're talking about.
Cool. All right. So
you have my permission.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, so here's everything you need to know out there, my friends. You can find everything we're doing at kindafunny.com. If you want to support our Patreon, we appreciate that. We have two of them, one for the games, one for everything else. You can go to patreon.com/kindafunny for the Game Over Greggy show and all that kind of stuff, comic, movie, TV conversations, etc. and so on. If you want to support our gaming coverage, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunnygames. Here's the thing. If you wanted to support us on Patreon, that's great, and we really appreciate it. But don't feel compelled to do that because it gives you awesome early access to the things we're doing and access to us. But at the same time, most of what we do will be available for free just a little bit later. So if you want to listen to our podcasts, you can do that on iTunes. If you want to watch them on YouTube, you can do all that kind of stuff. But your support on Patreon is much appreciated, and we really, really, really believe in that as a subscription model for what we're doing. If you want to follow us on YouTube, we have two channels there too, youtube.com/kindafunny and youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Again, the same differentiation. You can find merch at districtlines.com/kindafunny, and you can follow us here on twitch.tv/kindafunnygames for all of our live streams, and we're gonna do some Let's Plays here or whatever, some live.
We stream every day. We do this show at 11, and then at 2 o'clock we come back. Today's 2 o'clock will be the GameSpot show though, because we'll be over there hanging out doing stuff.
Exactly. So things are gonna change a little bit, on a daily basis depending on what we're doing. But the consistent thing is that Greg and I will be here every weekday at 11 a.m. Pacific time for at least 1 hour, usually more than that, maybe much more depending on what's happening. Imagine what's going to be like an E3 or something like that, Gamescom. And you can find us here, and it'll be archived later on twitch.tv, and we are listening to you about where you want this put, because we understand that some of you want it on YouTube, some of you want it audio. We got to figure that out.
And what we're saying, just give us a little time here.
Yeah,
actually try using this platform and see what we think, and then we'll go from there.
Exactly, yeah. We're listening, but yeah, please do try to
Dr. Rigmarole just subscribed, so that
excellent.
was pretty awesome. We had to give him a shout out there.
Excellent. So now, Greg,
I can switch it?
You are free to do...
Ladies and gentlemen, we're moving to sub-only chat. One of the benefits of being a sub of Kinda Funny Games, thank you so much. You're all welcome to hang out and watch, but now, officially, only them subs can talk. I gotta remember to turn it off. Sometimes I forget to turn it off. So here we go. This one's for you.
Okay.
Yamigara says, "Hey Greg, Colin, can I add you to my PSN friend list so I can play games with you when you have streams with subs?"
Yeah, when we have streams with subs, we're going to have to purge our friends list. So that's a great point. So that's definitely an option. Here's the difficult thing, is that even with the 2,000 friend threshold on PS4 and Vita, we would delete people, and then if you just left it alone a little while, you just kind of organically get friend requests. And we appreciate that. You can find Greg on there at Game Over Greg. You can find me at Moriarty-IGN. But it's hard to kind of add people unless you're doing it on the fly, and we kind of have to plan it out. So we'll get to that for sure.
Yeah, when we get to the point where we're doing sub streams, we're gonna definitely have to crack a better way. Alfredo has a whole bunch of good guys he uses to build out parties for him, and then do that. We'll probably go that direction too. There was thoughts of what if we made a Kind of Funny PSN ID, right? But then Colin and I are such trophy whores, we don't want to do that and not get credit for what we're doing. So we'll figure it out. We will figure out a way to make everybody be able to play with us. We'll pick games where it's big, you can get into, private passwords. Somebody has brought it up to me, the fact that I'm stupid and didn't think about this. Now that we have an awesome PC, I can play Minecraft on PC, which means I can make a server that I can just let go and people can come join and play stuff on. That's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. Let's see what we got here. Greg, is your Twitch stream still going to be a thing, or are you just going to stream on this channel now? We talked about this yesterday, but obviously we have some new people here.
Yeah, the ideal, we're going to keep, I'm going to stream on this channel. I want to make sure, Kind of Funny Games is our business, Kind of Funny is our thing. We want to grow. I'm going to leave my Game Over Greg channel open, but last night I did a stream, a whole bunch of Game Over Greggy subscribers came, because that was my biggest fear, is that subs would feel like I was screwing them over by going off and doing this. They all understood what I was doing, what we're all about. They're fine, not mad. So I think then, yeah, right now I'm just going to move over, stream here. There will be times, I'm sure, where we're playing games together or Colin has a pre-established stream and I want to go do something and we'll kick it up again. But I think for all of us, the easiest place to find us is going to be here on Kind of Funny Games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Some people talking a lot of shit about the Islanders. Canucks game tonight. That's okay. We'll see what happens. Dr. Rigmarole asks, what are the specs of those laptops? I think this will be read poorly in the unboxing videos that we did. They might be live soon.
Yeah, hold on. I'll check it out right now for you. But yeah, if you go to our YouTube page, Kind of Funny, youtube.com/kindoffunny, eventually today, if not already, you'll see the unboxing video for the thing with the stuff. Yeah, it's not live yet.
TS Starkey 0810 asks, Colin, can you say what your hot pepper gaming review is? No, but it's a very Colin game, and I think you guys will understand when you see it on Thursday.
I can't wait for people to see that video.
Let's see.
Is it Thursday? Is that when it's going up?
Yes, I forgot. Thursday. It is Thursday.
I'm a bit brain dead. It's been a week.
Glassjaw with
good name.
5-5
really good name.
as... my assumption is that he's naming himself Glassjaw after the Long Island hardcore band.
Okay. 1 o'clock, the unboxing goes live on youtube.com/kindoffunny of these laptops. You get all the specs and stats there. Of course, you can just go to originpc.com too.
I missed Glassjaw was basically asking, scrolling too fast now. Glassjaw was basically asking, are we going to go see the Giant Bomb guys since they're at Games? So I'm sure we'll go see them when we're there.
I'm going to poop on Jeff Gerstmann's desk. I don't have to poop.
Let's see. What's this? A sleeping monkey.
I like how it's all filled with fucking hockey talk now.
Will you guys ever? I know, what a shame. Will you guys ever have streams with Christine and Colin's girlfriend? My girlfriend doesn't play games. Part of the reason, there's many reasons why I love my girlfriend. One of the reasons is that we are completely different people.
Yeah.
She doesn't care about video games, and that's balances me, I feel like, a little bit.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't do that kind of stuff anyway. I mean, Greg would have to speak for Christine.
Yeah, I mean, it's all options are on the table. One of the reasons I love Christine is because she plays video games. So we'd like to do that. I think it just comes down to time and everything else. I couldn't imagine dating, and Cheryl's great. Don't get me wrong. I love Cheryl, but dating somebody who didn't like games. You know what I mean? Just in the fact that our life revolves around them to such a degree now, right?
Oh, I
we
love
have to
it.
do all this stuff.
I've never ever dated someone that liked video games.
Now you say that, but Cheryl was pretty good at Super Blocker or whatever. It was.
Oh, Super Stacker.
Yeah,
she finds a game every once in a while that she likes, but she doesn't care. She doesn't know anything about them. I need people that are different. I need to date people that are very different than me. I don't want to date myself.
Trip Monkey wants to know if we'll have guests on occasionally. That's 100% true. Yes, we are going to do that for sure. We're going to Skype in developers. We're going to have people in the house with us. Troy Baker's coming through next week. We're excited about that. What show we're putting him on, I'm not 100% sure, but I imagine for at least a second here, he'll pop up and look beautiful.
Let's see. This thing's moving too fast. I had some great things.
Did you put it in slow mode or no?
Oh, no. Someone was asking about Mega Man 7 and 8 and why I'm not playing those. 7 and 8 are kind of like the bastard childs of the Mega Man classic series. It's not to say they're bad games, especially 7's a fun game. Sprites are really big in it, though. But I don't want to play those games, to be honest. We could do that, but again, we also... is 7 even available on Virtual Console? It must be. I mean, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll throw those in for shits and giggles.
The Last Pez says, what will live shows be like now? All Game Over Greggy shows, or are you going to do some live shows more in the vein of Podcast Beyond live shows? I think it'll be case-by-case basis on what we do and when we do it and how we do it. We now have multiple shows, right? Like, there needs to be a Colin and Greg show every day. So if we're at an event and we can get a panel to do the live show live, that's awesome, and we'll do that for sure.
Absolutely.
If we're going to a Rooster Teeth event, I think that is maybe more akin to the Game Over Greggy show. Get a bunch of funny people together, do something goofy as a topic thing.
Right.
And then if we're going to PlayStation Experience, I think a Gamescast would fit best. But who knows? They're all kind of the same thing. We're all just sitting around talking. And I'm sure if we go to any kind of gaming event and we did a Game Over Greggy show, we're going to talk about games.
Absolutely. Doughboy Rifa, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. He said, Colin, what order do you take on the bosses in the original Mega Man? The only way that you really should, which is Bomb Man, Guts Man, Cut Man, Elect Man, Iceman, Fireman. There's your information on that. Cheese661 asked Colin, Yankees or Mets. I'm a Yankees guy, although from Long Island I should be a Mets fan.
Yeah.
The thing about that, of course, is that my parents grew up close to the city and they were Yankee fans.
Vicious Fool says, any DC Universe online streams in the future? Vicious Fool. That's a tough question for me. I love DC Universe Online. I am so far behind now on the armor treadmill that I really don't feel like I can get in there and catch up, especially because I feel like I can still catch up in Destiny and be a player in Destiny, and I enjoy that game, and that game's great for streaming. I don't know what I'm going to do about DC Universe Online. I tell you, the stream that I need to do and will do, because now we have all the technology, is I never played the Arkham Origins Mr. Freeze DLC. I am going to play that for sure.
Just Freeze.
Take two of these. I'm calling you in the morning.
Let's see. Ani, you want to get a few more?
Yeah, sure. You figure go to 12:20. Give me 9 more minutes.
12:20. Okay.
That's 15 minutes. That was a good promise for these kids.
I'm Bill McNeil. Asked Colin, quick yes or no, did Abraham Lincoln abuse his presidential powers during the Civil War? Yes.
What did he do?
Oh, there's a lot of. He was very totalitarian during the Civil War. Although some people would.
He had to be.
Yeah, exactly. Some people would argue that it was necessary.
You got the redcoats coming up on your ass. You got to do something.
Dr. Rigmarole asks, hey, Greg, are you doing the H1Z1 thing next week? I don't know what that means. Is it the beta?
Oh, no, H1Z1 comes out next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm doing H1Z1 next week, brother. Don't you fucking worry about it. Got that boss PC down there. I'm going to be all up in that H1Z1. Now, here's the thing about the H1Z1 is that I played it at PAX, didn't dig it. I love the idea of it. You know, another open world MMO, zombies and stuff. Well, it sounds great. Didn't dig it there, and I hope it's just because I was dropped in and the game wasn't finished. Now to get dropped into the finished game and have a little bit of narrative and whatever, get me going, I'm hoping for different outcomes. We'll see, though.
Okay.
I can also do this.
Purple-headed hot dog.
What a great name.
He asks, are you guys going to get early access to any games? Yes. Our relationships with these publishers and developers that we've fostered over the years, come with us. And I think that you'll see plenty of early game coverage.
You saw it all live happen with Axiom Verge. Yeah.
So we'll be getting
I'll get that installed and we can do that tomorrow or tonight.
So don't worry. That said, we're not going to be doing like the typical preview review coverage. Right. We've talked about that before, but we'll get back into that again. Master Crouton asks, are you guys going to do a show with Jim Sterling? We will absolutely do a show with Jim Sterling. I'm a big fan of Jim's, and he's a friend of mine. And what I love about Jim so much is that we are polar opposite. This is another thing we were talking about, is that I get along with people that I'm not like very well. And Jim and I are very different from each other, but we have a great relationship. We've been trying to get something together for a very long time. We are going to do it now that we are both independent. So yes, the answer is yes. Paul 4W says, I listened back to the PSN Lives Beyond podcast, which is arguably the most famous Beyond that we ever recorded.
Hey, Kelly, you sound sweet.
The other night, and it still cracks me up. What? We need a few more drunken shows, please. I'm sure we'll do a drunk show on here one day, although it'll be 11 a.m., so it'll be kind of tough.
Well, I think our stream in general. Now that this is all so easy and turnkey, don't act like we're not going to have that night where we're out there drinking bourbon. We're like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go fucking play whatever. And we come in here, we're like, yeah, games.
Let's see. Try Hard Guava asked, are the archives going to be available for subs? I believe the archives are available
for everybody. Yeah, go to twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, click on our little profile, and you'll see all the archives laid out. Now, granted, it only lasts 14 days, but again, we're a disposable show. Just dispose of us.
Just throw us away. G2365 asked, Greg, are any people from IGN going to come on the show? People from IGN are more than welcome on the show. Yep. I think it's more about if they're going to be able to come on the show.
Yeah.
But that's up to them. And we have great friends over there still. You should continue to read IGN. So they're welcome here.
Yeah.
Of course. Porty equals sleeping face.
Yeah, I know. I need to get, because Porty's just zonked out all the time.
I know, it's weird.
You say it's weird.
He doesn't do anything.
Colin, he is awake whenever we're asleep or not home, protecting this house. Sometimes when we're here, he's protecting this house. You know how much it takes to be... Think about how small he is and how much he has to bark to scare away bad guys like he does every day at every noise. Think about how small his legs are. Walking down the hallway is like 3 football fields to him.
It is a thing. Sethy123_ asks, are you guys still going to PSX this year? We'll be if there's one show you can be sure that we'll be at, it's PlayStation Experience. And we had a great PlayStation Experience. Our panel was the biggest panel PlayStation Experience when we did Podcast Beyond.
Yeah.
And something tells me, Greg, that we'll do this very show at PlayStation Experience. But we'll see. We're a long ways away from planning any of that stuff.
Yeah, right.
But I think it's a safe assumption.
Let's see how much we pay ourselves at the end of the month.
I think I'm going to say right now it will be a PSX doing
totally.
the show.
Begging for money.
Yeah, Lil Jerry Seinfeld. He's back.
Such a great name.
That's an awesome name. Great reference. You guys going to miss going to E3, PAX, etc. We're going to E3 and we're going to PAX, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We're going to be, right now we can tell you we're going to PAX East. We're going to MomoCon in Atlanta.
Yep.
We'll be at E3. I'm sure we'll be at PAX Prime. etc. and so on. We'll be at PSX. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, somebody asked me the other day, is like, oh man, and I forgot to. I have to talk. When we're out of here, remind me. We just got invited to another convention.
Okay.
So we got to talk about that. But somebody's asked me when I told them I was leaving, like, oh, but aren't you gonna miss doing this? I'm like, probably go to more things. Probably go to more conventions, if anything. RTX.
Hesh Jones asked, any shows for Nick and Tim coming up? Yeah, I mean, so Nick and Tim obviously will always be on Game Over Greggy show. They're on Follow the Leader. Tim is co-hosting our games podcast called the Kind of Funny Gamescast.
Yep.
I'm sure that we will work them in some way, but understand, of course, too, that their expertise is also behind the camera and working on making this stuff actually work. And we're the stupid people that sit in front of the camera and talk. So
we've added new shows for them too. If you go over to Patreon Kind of Funny Games and Patreon Kind of Funny, you'll see new things out of there. We just added to the video for a $15,000 tier, the video game education of Nick Scarpino. Nick doesn't know much about games because he sucks and didn't play any good games because he's always out there being with the ladies. But us nerds are going to show him a thing or two about the video games.
Absolutely. Professor B14 asks, how will you guys review games from now on, perhaps live reviews? We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but we will do some sort of review product, and I don't want to really say that literally because I don't think we're going to have like a Kind of Funny reviews thing. Maybe we will one day, but we want to talk about games as they come out in a more conversational way that kind of dissects the games, and we can talk about them with you in a way that's more digestible. The one thing we don't want to do and we don't believe in is scores, and we're not going to do that. Regardless of how we review these games or what the product is, I sense it'll be on the fly, kind of.
Sure.
We'll talk about them on the podcast, we'll talk about them on the show, but you can guarantee on Kind of Funny there will be no numbers attached to any games.
Wesley Ray says, Wesley Ray 1108 says, when's the first gaming podcast? It's already started. You go to Kind of Funny, youtube.com/Kind of Funny Games. You'll find the Kind of Funny Games cast up there. It's being broken out topic by topic. I believe we've got it all set up now on SoundCloud. I know there's some SoundCloud issues, so if you're a Patreon person, you get it early and yada yada. But it's going to be on the same schedule, so every Friday it'll go live for Patreon supporters who have got those tiers. Then day by day, topic by topic, broken out until the whole show posts for free on iTunes and Friday, YouTube.
Let's see.
No work.
We have time for a couple more.
Okay.
Let's see.
Somebody asked.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I was trying to help you out there.
Logan. Oh no, go. You speak, Greg. We're interrupting you. This is very rare.
I know. EGX. Somebody asked about EGX again, which is over in Europe. The what is it?
Oh, Eurogamer?
Yeah, Expo. If we go to that, or if we're going to go to that, I've always wanted to go to London. I've never been to London, but obviously
I went very briefly, very briefly.
Now more than ever, we need to get there, like through partnerships and agreements, and like we'll come host a panel or whatever.
The bigger thing. I'd love to go to Europe. The bigger thing is you and I have been there, and Nick's been there, but Tim's never been there.
Oh, that'd be fun.
The bigger thing is that we need to go to Japan.
Oh.
Kind of Funny in Japan.
Come on, we'll come out there. We'll film your life.
We gotta work that out because I love Japan. Greg loves Japan. Tim's never been to Japan. I think he'd lose his goddamn mind there.
Yeah. The whole time we'll be going, what?
And the ramen. Oh,
the ramen.
Oh, the ramen.
The sushi. The sushi.
This is a great one. Actually, I want to go to someone that we haven't talked to yet. So let's find one great question here, Greg. One great question. Cosmic Turtle says, have you guys talked about what you will and I presume won't do, I think that's what he meant, won't do for sponsors, and keeping yourselves on bias since you don't have a separate ad department like IGN? Not that I don't trust you. This is an interesting question.
Very interesting. I like it a lot.
Greg? Take it away.
No, we're for sale. We'll fucking pimp. What? No, that's the whole thing is like, the reason you're here, we hope, and the reason more people will come is that we are trusted voices in gaming, right? What we're going to do, since we're not reviewing products, we're not putting scores on things, we're not trying to hold ourselves to that journalistic, ethical standard that I was raised on, that I have a degree in, that we did at IGN, and to an extent, we're going to be honest with you, right? Like, there's a reason on Patreon the $3,000 tier is get a month of shoutouts. That's for you at home if you wanted your Twitter shouted out every time. That's for a company to say, hey, we're putting out Game X and we want to be in. So it's just like, you'd see it live there, you'd hear us talk about it, and then we're going to always say, all right, we did it already with the Game Over Greggy show for a long time, right? Like, hey, this segment is sponsored by House of Robots. It's the show over on YouTube. You should go watch it. And then we talk about our own thing, right? The way ethics and things get twisted and why they matter and how they need to be exhibited is you need to know what's happening behind the curtain. There is no curtain here. We're going to tell you what's happening. You're never going to see us pop up in I'm going to be wearing a Batman Beyond shirt and Batman Beyond sponsored me, and me not say something about it, and I wouldn't sell my shirt probably. That's a weird example, right? But like, the Origin thing, right? Like they are listed in our things, right? Because they helped us out. They gave us a great deal to get a new business off the ground. That's why they're there. They're amazing to work with. They've been super
these computers are legit good, and that's the other thing too. Is I think that when we're using a product or playing like a laptop like this, I don't think that we would, sell you a false good of bill of sales in terms of well, they're using this shitty thing or whatever. Like we need to be cognizant of those things, and we will be cognizant of those.
The other example is the lynda.com thing we did on Game Over Greggy, right? That we have a lynda.com/kindafunny, and you go there and if you register for it, then we make money off of it that way, and it's a sponsorship agreement, right? When I introduced it on the Game Over Greggy show, I admitted I knew nothing about it, and then Nick Scarpino, who was instrumental in us getting it, is like, I use it all the time and love it because. I don't think we're ever going to be like, hey, this show's brought to you by this coffee mug, and it like falls apart in our hands, or we don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that's not who we are. We're genuine people giving you a genuine product, giving you a genuine show where we cuss and play video games. Like, if you hold us to the standard that we're holding ourselves to, and everything will be fine.
Absolutely. We appreciate your faith in us, and we're not going to take that for granted, and we're not going to abuse it. So don't worry about that.
Aunt Tram says, "What's the tier to buy your shirt, Greg?"
We'll figure it out. All right, so that's it.
Great.
Time to go eat, and then we got to go to GameSpot. So we'll be on the lobby on GameSpot in just over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So come check us out there. Thank you for tuning in.
We'll host it here. We just put up the Let's Play. The unboxing's going live on Kinda Funny. More content. We'll be back at 11, 2 p.m. Hosted here. GameSpot. Amazing stuff. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you get to see the incredibly awkward. I'm going to go over there and try to figure out what to do.
Yeah, and seriously, thank you guys for tuning in, and please keep tuning in. Tell your friends.
Yeah,
thank you for your support, whether you're supporting us on Patreon or not. We really appreciate you guys, and we really hope you like what we're doing. So thank you again, and we'll see you tomorrow. Greg?
Yeah.
See what you can do.
I'm working on it. I'm hoping the other mouse will have more success. Oh, it did. What the? God damn it. All right, bye, guys.